like clocks, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue.
Yeah, this is the part. This is a different song. People like to fact check me, but this is not, this is off the top. I'm not going off facts. I want to say this is the song right now, just from the beat. I heard it for like 2 seconds. But this is the part where it's very people got a little triggered about this. Just saying. So he changed the song up, so it's not "Look at Me."
Don't reach for it, then. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
Never seen a nigga hung for the gold chain. I'd rather sing about the same things that we claim. Such as bashful, but niggas like a task force. Mobbing on the streets and robbing stores and scheme ass, bruh. Niggas ask for peace in the riot to bring violence. Cause it's a game of cat and mouse, and you gon' bleed silent. What's the justice in saying fuck it and grab the pump? To kill a woman with many children makes you a chump. Look at all the stores you reckon, nigga, I reckon. Think about the people who own it for about a second. I know you got your problem, but whether they got theirs. This is not a gang of violence, a group.
This is another example where people judged him before they even knew the context. They just saw that little snippet he put on Instagram of him hung. They thought, oh, he's just making fun of people killing themselves in suicide, when really he was, if you looked at the very beginning, it was a dude in Mississippi in like 1960s or whatever, and he, basically the KKK got him and hung him on a tree. And then he's just showing all the other, like, even current day social issues we have with stereotypes of black people, stereotypes of police officers. I'm not saying all police officers are good. Clearly, there's some that are messed up.
We got my main man, Brett. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
No, but for real, when this whole Ferguson thing happened, I was getting really upset because people were just... Like, there was good cops. Like, in New York City, 2 cops just randomly got shot. This one dude just went up and shot them. Just... Like, there's stereotypes on both sides. There's good people on both sides. There's good people on both sides. I mean, good people and bad people on both sides. Sorry. I'm really tired right now. Don't judge me. But what I'm saying is people need to just stop having stereotypes about each other, and none of this would happen. And X is showing some of the current day and previous social issues we have in our society. And people just assume that, oh, it's just going to be about suicide or something when they don't know the full context of the video. So
Right.
y'all need to chill out before you getting triggered makes me triggered, okay?
Some people actually thought that he killed himself on his Instagram. And that's just... Why would he even do that? Like, he just... I don't even know. Let's just start the video.
You rather hear me say, fuck black president, let's murder different races, no hatred and form irrelevant views and exchange but not thrown. Damage and blind, blown, oblivion, all cold, oblivious. I won't dare say that you should stop the fucking ignorance. Murder ops, killing shit, I'd enjoy the thrill of it. Bathing blood of officers, different corpses, offering them, auction them, don't you walk in them, murder them, never heard of them. I can preach peace, but say fuck it and preach the murder, cause this ain't fucking life that we live in. Go ahead and grab the extension, get up another one, uncle, cousin, brother, send glory to all the chosen ones.
Before, I also want to say, he also talked about how there's a Netflix show called something White People or something.
Dear White People.
Dear White People. And he was against that, and he got a lot of hate from the black community because he said that it was wrong. But
That show was wrong, and it was like, I don't even know. It was like, to me, I didn't like the show because it was kind of like racist on both sides. Like, I've never met any black people like that in my life, and I've never met any white people like that in my life. So, like, I don't know. It was stereotypical, and that's like against the whole cause of the show.
What X was saying was, imagine if there's a show called Dear Black People and there's white people saying stereotypes, and he was also saying that, like, you just got to be better than the people that are racist. Like, don't be like them, just be above them. Basically what he was saying. All these people were getting all mad because he was defending white people from what they thought. But this just reminds me, he's got a white kid and a black kid here too. He's very, a lot of songs he's into racism and conflicting it.
Ritual of innocence, but innocent will soon behold the ignorance. Blasphemous, killing our own, murdering black.
result we all, the ones that don't want to live in misery, that is, desire. Now naturally we all, black and white, are schadenfreude, or malicious. Here are a few examples. Emmett Till, August 28th, 1955, Mississippi, pulled out of his house in the middle of the night in front of his mother, who had to watch her son be taken from her on the sidelines for little to no reason at all worth murdering a 14-year-old boy. Castrated, mutilated, but also documented for the youth to see. Corey Ali Muhammad, black on white. Philando Castile, white on black. Now these things never come to or remotely ever remain in the public eye, and the youth is never inspired to take a stand to make a difference. So I will speak for them. The youth, that is, the ones full of innocence.
He says right there that the youth never takes a stand to try to end it. And really, personally, I can kind of agree. What happens every time there's always an issue like this, where we have a social issue of black on white crime or white on black crime, like it's the news, the media always, if it's like a white on black crime, they always blow it up. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not true, but usually what happens then is there's just always a riot or something. And what I don't understand is if these type of things happen to you, why would you go and destroy properties of people that aren't even involved with this? Like Ferguson, for example, they just destroyed the whole town. Like, those people, they weren't to blame. And most of the people that came to Ferguson, I mean, most people that were at the right came from St. Louis to Ferguson, so they weren't even, like, they were just destroying random local businesses for, like, I understand your outrage, but that's not the way to go amongst.
They came down and destroyed white and black businesses.
Like, they just destroyed everything. And this isn't just them. Like, and then we usually all these riots, the Baltimore ones, everything that happens, they do these riots, and like after a week they just basically forget anything happened, and they just move on. Like, you need to be using your voice, but not like being violent, taking out violence on it, because the people you're affecting weren't even involved, and it's not their fault that it happened. I just think it's stupid that happens, and I agree with him that basically we're not doing enough as our generation. We complain and go on riots for a day or two, and then after that we just pretend like nothing happened. I mean, it's just really stupid.
And he also said, he was saying that that the youth isn't inspired by the other generation to make change. So he's basically saying that he's going to speak up, and hopefully that like puts a fire in your stomach to step up and be active.
Now, most of this video is supposed to be symbolizing things. I don't really know what that whole hanging the white kid meant, and all those people watching. That was kind of a little out there for me personally.
Yeah.
But it must symbolize something for him. I don't know.
I mean, it might. I don't know. I might be stretching it or something. It was just, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to symbolize how black people used to get lynched, and how he just like hung a white kid, and he just said that murder is murder. So I don't know.
The ones inspired by the things around them to matter. I can go on forever about the fact that murder is murder, whether you're black or white. You should always feel free to voice your opinion, but to act out on these irrational thoughts in every shape or form is disgusting. You cannot, as black or white, call yourself the supreme race when moved out of your comfort by the opposition's color, their skin color. That is no form of being or demonstrating being a supreme being. If you are a supremacist, be unmoved by the opposition. Remain unscathed in the comfort of your own home, in your own realm. White or black or white. Are you willing to risk your child's future due to your own bigotry? The choice is yours, but your child will not stand for the hate. This generation will be loved, nurtured, heard, and understood.
Basically, honestly, I feel like the reason he did put this in his video is kind of like how when you have this platform and you have that many people like following you like this, that like you can spread messages. Like Logic spread that 1-800 hotline suicide hotline video. They said that like over 50% they had over a 50% increase in suicide calls, like the preventions. So I feel like he's kind of going along the lines where if I have this platform, I'm going to speak about what's wrong with our society and try to get more exposure to it and like help people try to make it better and stop the issues we have. But I mean, this is a really good video. I like how it split. It wasn't just look at me the whole hype one. It also, he did the more slow song, which I believe is Vice City. Don't fact check me on it because I'm not 100% sure. A lot of people in the comments like to be mean and fact check me or say things, you know. I'm not Googling stuff before. This is just off the top of my head. This is just all my basic knowledge. But I like how he had 2 videos in one. The first one's more like him having fun. The second one's more like slow, like more symbolic and like actually like dealing with issues in our society. I mean, the first one is he's got a unicorn dildo, so I mean,
just messing around.
I feel like this is his fun side. He did it because he can have more of a fun side, and then he also had a serious side in it. I like how there's 2 videos in one. And what did you say about like? I think you said that like the
part from him beating like a teacher, it's like symbolizing the younger generation teaching the older generation something, pretty much.
Yeah. So for all you people who already have your feelings about him and are closed-minded about it, I understand some of the things that reasons why people think, oh, he's just so violent and all stuff. Because I mean, the media makes him look worse, like make him look like a bad person, like with this whole domestic violence thing and all that. I like to go off of facts. Until I know he did that, I think he's an innocent person. I mean, yeah, there's clout chasers all over. I feel like she's clearly doing this for the fame or the money. And I think he's really a good guy. There's a video I always see in my timeline, like, if you dislike X, watch this and it'll change your mind, of him, like, being a generous person and nice to people. And personally, I think I like it. I think this video is one of the best videos I've seen in a long time. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, for sure.
Yeah, my parents always told me, like, don't judge a book by its cover. And just because you see the tattoos and whatever, you hear the music, like some of his music, you know, he's yelling and he's getting lit or whatever, but doesn't mean that he's a bad person. The media can attack anybody, anytime. The media is the media. The media is here to blind you, so I don't know if I
already said this or not because it's getting choppy, but 17 for his newest album, the intro, his first track's called Explanation. He talks about how he's trying to help you get through your depression. Like, that's the main reason the whole album is help you get through depression, help you just get through things. And most of the songs are very meaningful for him. Like Jocelyn Flores is about this girl that he was friends with and she killed herself. So I mean, I feel like overall he's a good guy and he's just misinterpreted by society.
Bruh.
Did you stop?
Yeah. I didn't.